Adolf Hitler feared many things. He feared enemy armies. He feared defeat. He feared losing control of Europe. But there was one man he feared more than all of them combined. Not a country, not a weapon. A single general. His name was George Patton. German commanders warned each other about him. Soldiers whispered his name in fear. And before Hitler died, he spoke shocking words about Patton that few people know today. Words that revealed who Patton truly was and why he terrified the entire German war machine. In this video, you will discover what Hitler said about Patton and why this one man changed the course of World War II. Stay with me. George Patton was nothing like other generals. While most commanders moved carefully, Patton moved fast. While others waited for perfect plans, Patton attacked. He believed hesitation killed more soldiers than bullets. Patton pushed his armies forward day and night. No rest, no slowing down. His tanks raced across Europe faster than anyone thought possible. Enemy defenses collapsed before they could even react. German officers later admitted something terrifying. They said when Patton was advancing, they felt the war was already lost. His soldiers followed him without question, not because they were forced, but because they trusted him. Patton led from the front. He stood where bullets were flying. He shared the danger, and that made men willing to follow him anywhere. To his troops, Patton was unstoppable. To his enemies, he was a nightmare. The Germans didn't just fight Patton. They watched him. Nazi intelligence tracked his movements constantly. Wherever Patton appeared on the map, panic followed. Entire German divisions were redirected just because Patton was nearby. Some officers believed Patton commanded a massive secret army. Others thought he was preparing a huge invasion. Even when Patton wasn't attacking, his name alone forced Germany to react. Soldiers whispered about him in fear. They called him the Allied monster. One German commander later admitted, "When Patton moved, we moved. We had no choice." The fear of Patton was so strong, it reshaped entire battle plans, without firing a single shot. His reputation became a weapon, and it worked perfectly. Adolf Hitler rarely respected his enemies. To him, most Allied generals were weak, slow, predictable. But Patton was different. According to several German officers, Hitler spoke about Patton with anger and fear. He reportedly said, "That man is our most dangerous opponent." Hitler believed Patton was the only commander who truly understood modern fast warfare. He hated how Patton attacked without hesitation. No waiting, no caution, only constant pressure. One German general later revealed that Hitler demanded special reports about Patton alone, not about entire armies, not about fronts, only Patton, where he was, what he was doing, and where he might strike next. Hitler feared Patton would break Germany's defenses completely if given enough time. He believed Patton's speed was impossible to stop, and his unpredictability was deadly. In private meetings, Hitler reportedly warned his commanders, "If Patton reaches Germany's heart, the war will be lost." To Hitler, Patton wasn't just another enemy general. He was a force that could end the Reich. Patton did not simply defeat German armies. He dismantled the way they fought. The German military relied on structure, precise orders, clear defensive lines, careful coordination between divisions. Patton attacked that structure itself. Instead of meeting strength with strength, he looked for weakness. Instead of slowing down to secure territory, he bypassed it. German commanders would prepare for a frontal assault, But Patton would strike their supply lines instead. He cut fuel. He cut communication. He isolated entire units from reinforcement. And once a German division was cut off, panic spread faster than bullets. His strategy was simple: move so fast the enemy cannot think. German officers described his offensives as disorienting. Maps became outdated within hours. Orders reached units too late. Entire defensive plans collapsed before they were fully executed. Patton created what many historians later called operational shock. Not just physical defeat, mental paralysis. German soldiers began expecting surprise attacks. They began seeing Patton everywhere, even when he wasn't there. Rumors alone caused retreats. Sometimes divisions withdrew simply because they believed Patton was approaching. He weaponized momentum. He weaponized fear. And most importantly, he refused to give the enemy time to recover. Every time the Germans tried to regroup, Patton was already breaking through somewhere else. He didn't just win battles, he broke their rhythm. And in war, once your rhythm is broken, defeat is only a matter of time. But not everyone saw Patton as a hero. To some officers, he was brilliant. To others, he was dangerous. They said Patton pushed his men too hard, that he took risks no normal commander would take, that one mistake could have destroyed entire armies. Patton often ignored cautious advice. He trusted instinct more than committees. He believed bold action was safer than slow planning. And sometimes, it worked perfectly. His risks brought stunning victories, breakthroughs no one expected. Battles that should have failed succeeded. But there was always a cost. Long marches exhausted soldiers. Fast advances stretched supply lines thin. Men fought with little rest. Some commanders warned, if Patton ever miscalculates once, the disaster will be massive. Yet Patton accepted that risk. He believed war was not meant to be safe. He believed victory belonged to those willing to gamble. To some, he was reckless. To others, he was the reason the Allies won so fast. And the truth? He was probably both. A genius and a man constantly walking toward disaster. After surviving the most violent battles of World War II, Patton did not die under fire. Not in a tank. Not on the front lines. Not while leading an attack. The man who faced bombs, bullets, and entire armies every day was taken out in peace. Just months after the war ended, on a quiet road in Germany. No explosions, no chaos, just an ordinary military truck crashing into his car. The impact was not even considered severe. Everyone else in the vehicle survived. Only Patton was critically injured. The general who escaped death thousands of times in battle was defeated by a simple accident. When the world heard the news, it was stunned. Newspapers across Europe and America couldn't believe it. The man Hitler feared, the commander who broke German armies, gone. Not in war, but in silence. For many, it felt unreal, almost cruel, as if history itself played a dark joke. After all the bloodshed, after all the danger, Patton died in peace. And that made his death even harder to understand. Even after his death, George Patton never disappeared from history. Military academies around the world still study his campaigns. His fast-moving attacks became the foundation of modern armored warfare. Generals still analyze how he broke enemy lines with speed instead of numbers. Patton proved that momentum could win wars, that fear could be a weapon, and that hesitation could destroy armies. Many of today's battle strategies are built on what Patton pioneered. His name is still spoken in military classrooms. His battles are still replayed in simulations. Not because he was reckless, but because he understood war better than most men of his time. Patton changed how wars were fought. Before him, commanders moved slowly. After him, speed became power. Before him, fear controlled soldiers. After him, Patton showed fear could be turned against the enemy. That is why, decades later, he is still remembered. Not just as a general, but as a force that reshaped warfare. So now the question is simple. Was George Patton a hero, or a ruthless warrior the world feared too much? Was he a genius who understood war better than anyone else, or a man too dangerous for peace? If leaders like Patton had remained in power, would the world look different today? Would the Cold War have happened the same way? Would millions of lives have changed? History does not give us second chances. It only leaves us questions. And Patton remains one of them. Some see him as a legend, others see him as a warning. But one thing is certain: no one who faced him ever forgot his name. So what do you think? Was Patton one of the greatest commanders in history, or a man the world lost too soon? Write your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoy powerful, untold moments from history, subscribe, because some stories are not meant to be forgotten.